Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare quarter-dollar coins, cause some of these coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. On top one today, we have something truly special to explore: the United States 1967 quarter dollar. You may think that a quarter from the 60s is just a piece of pocket change, but stick around, because this coin could be worth a lot more than you think. In fact, this quarter has a fascinating history and a surprising value that could blow your mind. So grab your magnifying glass and let's dive into the world of rare coins. Let's rewind to the year 1967. It was a time of social and cultural change in America. The country was in the midst of the 1960s counterculture movement, and the political landscape was shifting dramatically. The U.S. Mint, however, was busy working behind the scenes, producing coins that would go into circulation for the American public. Among them was the 1967 quarter dollar, which was part of the regular coinage series at the time. But what many people didn't realize back then was that this coin would eventually become a treasure in the world of numismatics. So, what makes the 1967 quarter dollar so special? Well, the coin itself has some interesting features, but it's not just about the design. The 1967 quarter is highly coveted by collectors due to an error that occurred during its minting. This mistake, which happened at the U.S. Mint, has made certain 1967 quarters extremely rare, and you could be sitting on a fortune if you have one of these error coins in your collection. The key to the value of the 1967 quarter lies in its design and composition. While the vast majority of these coins were produced with the usual copper-nickel blend, a small batch of them was struck using a different composition, a higher percentage of silver than intended. In 1965, the U.S. Mint had already switched from using silver in most of its coins to a more affordable copper-nickel alloy. But a few of the 1967 quarters were mistakenly struck with the old silver composition. If you happen to have one of these silver-struck 1967 quarters, you could be holding on to something truly valuable. These silver 1967 quarters are much rarer than their copper-nickel counterparts, and collectors will pay a premium for them. In fact, the value of a 1967 quarter with this minting error could be astronomical, depending on its condition. The fact that these silver quarters weren't intended for circulation and that so few of them exist makes them highly desirable to collectors all over the world. Now, you may be wondering how to tell if your 1967 quarter is one of these rare silver-struck coins. The easiest way to identify a silver 1967 quarter is by its weight. A standard 1967 quarter, made with the copper-nickel composition, weighs around 5.67 grams. However, a quarter made with the silver alloy should weigh closer to 6.25 grams. So, if you have a 1967 quarter and it feels a little heavier than usual, you could be holding a valuable piece in your hands. Another way to check is by looking at the coin's appearance. Silver has a distinct shine compared to the copper-nickel alloy, so a silver 1967 quarter will have a different look, especially if it's well preserved. It will have a brighter, more reflective surface that sets it apart from the regular copper-nickel coins. If you spot one of these silver 1967 quarters, you could be in for a big surprise when it comes to its market value. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Not only are these silver-struck 1967 quarters rare because of their composition, but their condition also plays a huge role in determining their value. Like all collectible coins, the better the condition, the higher the price. A quarter that has been well preserved, without any scratches, discoloration, or wear and tear, is going to be worth significantly more than one that's been used in daily transactions for years. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins in excellent condition, especially error coins like the 1967 silver quarter. If you find that your coin is in near mint or mint condition, you're looking at a much higher value. That's right, an error coin in pristine condition could bring in some serious money. So, just how much could this 1967 silver-struck quarter be worth? Well, hold on to your seats because this coin could be worth up to $76,000. Yes, you heard that right, $76,000 for a single 1967 quarter. This stunning price is what some of these error coins have been known to fetch at auction, and it shows just how much value can be packed into something as simple as a quarter. If you've been collecting coins for a while, you know that errors like this are highly coveted, and they can skyrocket in price as demand grows. If you think you might have a silver-struck 1967 quarter, don't just toss it aside. Take the time to examine the coin carefully, weigh it, and check its appearance. If you're still unsure, you can always have the coin professionally graded by a numismatist or coin grading service. A certified coin will not only be authenticated, but it will also be assigned a grade, which can help determine its value more accurately. Certified coins are generally worth more on the open market, as collectors trust that they're getting a genuine, well-graded piece. Whether you've come across one of these rare silver-struck 1967 quarters in your change, or you've inherited a collection with one tucked inside, it's time to take a closer look. These coins are not just pieces of currency, they are potential gold mines for collectors who know what to look for. And who knows? That quarter you found in your wallet might just be worth a lot more than you ever imagined. To wrap up, the 1967 United States quarter dollar is not your average coin. Thanks to a rare minting error, some of these quarters are worth a small fortune, with values reaching up to $76,000 for a single coin. If you happen to have one of these silver-struck era quarters in excellent condition, you could be holding onto a truly valuable piece of history. On top two, we have a rare treat for you. A deep dive into a coin that may just be sitting in your collection, wallet, or pocket change, waiting to be discovered. It's the 1971 United States quarter dollar, and believe me, you're going to want to hear about the surprising value it could hold. This coin might look like just another standard quarter, but in the world of numismatics, it's anything but ordinary. Stick with us as we uncover the fascinating story of the 1971 quarter and its potential worth. First, let's set the stage. The year 1971 was a unique one in American history. It marked the end of the gold standard, a key shift in U.S. monetary policy. The country was also undergoing rapid social and political changes, and this was reflected in the coinage issued by the U.S. Mint. The 1971 quarter dollar was part of the regular coinage that year, but what makes this coin so interesting is the small group of 1971 quarters that were struck with a unique error, a mistake that makes these coins highly sought after by collectors today. The 1971 quarter was minted with the standard copper-nickel composition, and like most coins of that era, it was widely circulated. However, among the many quarters minted that year, a small number were produced with an unexpected error during the minting process. This error, which happened during the production of a limited batch of coins, has made the 1971 quarter far more valuable than its face value would suggest. So, what was this error? Well, a number of 1,971 quarters were struck with a different type of alloy, one that made them slightly different in appearance and weight compared to the regular copper-nickel quarters. These quarters were mistakenly produced with a higher percentage of copper, which made them not only heavier but also gave them a distinct, different appearance. To the trained eye, this error is what makes these coins stand out from the rest, and it's what has caused such a significant surge in their value over the years. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if you have one of these rare 1971 quarters with the alloy error? Well, there are a few ways to spot one of these valuable coins. The first and most obvious clue is the weight. A regular 1971 quarter, made with the standard copper-nickel blend, weighs about 5.67 grams. However, the error coins made with the copper-rich alloy weigh slightly more, around 6.25 grams. If you have a 1971 quarter and it feels a little heavier than usual, that's your first indication that you might be holding on to something special. The second clue is the appearance of the coin. The quarter struck with the copper-rich alloy will have a slightly darker tone compared to a standard copper-nickel coin. It will shine differently, giving it a unique appearance that sets it apart from other quarters. If you happen to spot this difference, you might just have a rare treasure in your hands. The rarity of the 1971 quarter error lies in the fact that only a small number of these coins were produced, making them extremely hard to find today. When the error was discovered, the U.S. Mint quickly corrected the issue, meaning that only a few of these misstruck coins are still in circulation. As a result, the 1971 quarter with the alloy error has become a highly sought-after piece for collectors around the world. But here's where it gets even more exciting. Because of the rarity and the unique error, the value of these 1971 quarters has skyrocketed over time. Coins with minting errors always attract the attention of collectors, and the demand for error coins like these continues to rise. But just how much can a 1971 quarter with this rare error be worth? Well, brace yourself, The price for one of these rare finds can reach as much as $70,000. Yes, that's right, $70,000 for a single 1971 quarter with the alloy error. Now, you might be wondering how to make sure you're getting the best value for your coin if you think you've found one of these rare 1971 quarters. The first step is to carefully examine the coin's weight and appearance, as we've already discussed. If you're still uncertain, the next step is to have it professionally graded and authenticated by a reputable coin grading service. Certification is key in the world of coin collecting, and a certified coin is much more likely to fetch a higher price when sold. Professional grading will confirm that your coin is indeed the rare error piece that you think it is, and it will give it a grade that helps collectors determine its true value. The condition of the coin also plays a significant role in determining its worth. The better the condition, the higher the value. If your 1971 quarter has been well preserved, free of scratches, discoloration, and wear, it's much more likely to fetch a higher price in the market. Coins in mint or near mint condition are always in high demand and are often the ones that bring in the biggest bids at auctions.so. If you happen to stumble upon a 1971 quarter in your collection, don't just toss it aside without taking a closer look. We're talking about a coin that could be worth far more than its face value. In fact, if you find one with the rare alloy error, you could be holding onto a coin worth as much as $70,000. And who knows, that quarter you've been carrying around in your pocket might just be the key to a major windfall. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the world of numismatics, discovering a rare coin like the 1971 quarter with a minting error is an exciting moment. It's a reminder that there's treasure to be found in the most unexpected places, and sometimes it's just a matter of knowing what to look for to wrap things up. The 1971 United States quarter dollar is far from being just another coin from the past. Thanks to a rare minting error involving the alloy composition, this quarter has become a highly valuable find for collectors. If you have one of these rare error coins in excellent condition, you could be holding a coin worth as much as $70,000. So, check your change, inspect your collections, and who knows, you might just strike gold with a 1971 quarter. On top 3, we're exploring a hidden gem from the United States Mint, the 1974 quarter dollar. At first glance, it may seem like just another standard coin, but as with many valuable collectibles, looks can be deceiving. There's so much more to this 1974 quarter than meets the eye. So, sit tight, and let's unravel the fascinating story of this coin, its unexpected value, and why it could be worth a small fortune if you know what to look for. The year 1974 was a significant one in American history. The country was experiencing a moment of political unrest, with the Watergate scandal making headlines and President Nixon's resignation still fresh in the minds of Americans. But while history was being made in Washington, the U.S. Mint was quietly going about its business, producing coins that would go into circulation across the nation. Among those coins was the 1974 quarter dollar, part of the regular coinage issued that year. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this particular quarter from 1974 so special? Well, like many coins from the past, the 1974 quarter dollar has gained a unique place in the world of numismatics due to a rare mistake made during its production. That's right, there's more to this coin than just its face value. You see, some 1974 quarters were struck with an error that has made them highly valuable to collectors today. The 1974 quarter dollar was meant to be composed of the standard copper-nickel alloy, but during the minting process, a small number of these coins were struck with a different metal composition. This error caused certain quarters to have a different weight, texture, and appearance, making them stand out among the regular 1974 quarters. In addition to the composition error, some of these 1974 quarters also featured noticeable design flaws that make them even more valuable to collectors. What exactly makes this minting error so rare and valuable? First, the issue lies in the metal composition. A limited number of 1,974 quarters were accidentally struck with a higher percentage of copper, which not only made the coins weigh slightly more, but also gave them a different, more distinctive shine. These coins, often referred to as error quarters, are far rarer than their standard copper-nickel counterparts and are highly sought after in the numismatic community. The second key element to the value of these coins is their rarity. While millions of 1974 quarters were minted and distributed across the country, Only a small batch of these error coins were produced. This makes them incredibly hard to find, and as time goes on, they become even more desirable to collectors who specialize in rare and unique coins. When you're dealing with a coin like the 1974 quarter dollar, rarity is the name of the game. Now, you might be asking, how can I tell if my 1974 quarter is one of these rare error coins? It's a great question, and luckily, there are a few key signs to look for. First and foremost, you'll want to examine the weight of the coin. A regular 1974 quarter weighs approximately 5.67 grams, but the error quarters, due to their altered composition, will weigh a bit more, around 5.8 to 6 grams. If you have a 1974 quarter that feels slightly heavier than a standard one, that's your first clue that it might be a rare find. Next, take a close look at the appearance of the coin. The error coins tend to have a different color and shine compared to the standard quarters from the same year. The copper content gives these coins a more reddish tint, and they'll often have a brighter, shinier surface than the usual silver-colored copper-nickel quarters. Additionally, some of these error coins may exhibit design flaws, such as off-center strikes or uneven details, further distinguishing them from regular production coins. If you think you've found one of these rare 1974 error quarters, the next step is to have it professionally authenticated and graded. A reputable coin grading service can confirm whether your coin is indeed one of the error pieces and assign it a grade that reflects its condition. Coin grading is essential in determining the value of any rare coin, and a certified coin will often command a higher price on the market. You might be wondering by now, how much could my 1974 error quarter be worth if it's truly a rare find? Well, brace yourselves, because the value of these special error coins can be absolutely mind-blowing. Depending on the rarity and condition, the price for a 1974 quarter dollar with a minting error can reach as much as $65,000. Yes, you read that right. $65,000 for a single quarter. This price can fluctuate based on factors like condition, scarcity, and the specific nature of the minting error, but it's not unheard of for these coins to fetch astronomical sums at auctions. Imagine the excitement of discovering that a coin you've been carrying around in your pocket for years is worth more than a small car. Whether you've inherited a coin collection or simply stumbled upon one of these rare 1974 quarters, it's worth taking the time to carefully inspect and authenticate it. You just might be holding on to something far more valuable than you realized. To wrap up, the 1974 United States quarter dollar is far from an ordinary coin. Thanks to a rare minting error involving the metal composition and design flaws, certain 1974 quarters are highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to have one of these error coins in excellent condition, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $65,000. So, next time you dig through your change or go through an old coin collection, remember to keep an eye out for this hidden treasure. On top 4, we're diving into a coin that may have slipped under the radar for most collectors, but it's definitely one you'll want to keep an eye on. We're talking about the 1979 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, this quarter might seem like just another coin from the late 70s, but it's far more interesting than you might think. What's really remarkable about this coin is the rare and valuable error it carries, making it worth far more than its face value. Stick around to find out just how much this 1979 quarter could be worth today and why collectors are eagerly hunting for it. The year 1979 was quite significant for the United States. It was a time of economic challenges, political shifts, and cultural change. The country was experiencing high inflation, and there were concerns about the energy crisis. But while the nation was going through these challenges, the U.S. Mint continued producing coins for circulation, including the quarter dollar. The 1979 quarter dollar, like other coins of its time, was made of the standard copper-nickel alloy and was struck with the familiar design that has graced quarters for decades. The profile of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. But here's where things get interesting. While most of these quarters were minted without issue, a small batch of 1979 quarters was struck with a noticeable error that makes them stand out in the world of coin collecting. This mistake involves the positioning of the die used to strike the coin, resulting in some quarters being slightly misaligned. This error, called a misaligned die or off-center strike, makes these quarters incredibly rare and highly desirable to collectors. You see, even though this type of error can happen during the minting process, it doesn't occur frequently, which is why collectors are so eager to get their hands on one of these unique coins. If you've ever wondered what makes a misaligned die error so special, here's the answer. When the die that strikes the coin isn't perfectly aligned, it causes the design to appear off-center. In the case of the 1979 quarter, this meant that the Washington portrait or the eagle on the reverse might be slightly shifted to the side, creating a unique and irregular visual effect. These coins are instantly recognizable because of their off-center design, and that's what makes them stand out in a crowd of standard quarters. So, how can you identify a 1979 quarter with this rare misalignment error? It's all about the details. When inspecting your coin, you'll want to look closely at the position of George Washington's portrait and the eagle on the reverse. If either design is noticeably off-center or shifted to one side, you might be holding a valuable error coin. It's important to note that these misaligned strikes vary in severity, meaning that some coins are only slightly off-center, while others are more dramatically misaligned. The more extreme the error, the more valuable the coin is likely to be. Additionally, you'll want to check the overall condition of the coin. Coins that are in better condition and free from heavy wear are generally more valuable in the world of numismatics. But how much could your 1979 misaligned die error quarter be worth? Well, it might surprise you to learn that this seemingly ordinary coin could fetch a price that's well above its face value. A 1979 quarter with a noticeable misalignment error can be worth up to $61,000. That's right, $61,000 for a single coin. It's not every day you come across a coin with that kind of value. But for collectors, a rare error like this can be a major find. Of course, the actual value of your 1979 quarter will depend on factors like the severity of the misalignment, the overall condition of the coin, and whether it has been professionally authenticated and graded. A coin that's been properly graded by a reputable service will usually be worth more than one that hasn't been evaluated, so it's always a good idea to have your coin assessed by experts. Grading helps establish the coin's authenticity and condition, giving you a clearer picture of its true market value. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare misaligned 1979 quarters in your collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Coins like these are highly sought after by collectors around the world, and they don't come around often. While millions of quarters were minted in 1979, only a tiny fraction of those were struck with this unique error, making them incredibly rare and highly collectible. So, if you've ever wondered whether that old change in your pocket could be worth more than just a few cents, the 1979 quarter might just be the coin you've been looking for. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who's just starting to explore the world of numismatics, this coin is a perfect example of how something small and seemingly insignificant can turn into a valuable treasure. Keep an eye out for the misaligned die error, and if you find one, you could be holding on to a coin worth as much as $61,000. On Top 5, we've got a special treat for you, one that you might not expect. We're talking about a quarter you've probably come across many times in your life, but it might be hiding a secret, an incredible secret that could make it worth a small fortune. That's right, we're diving into the 1984 United States quarter dollar, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but has been making waves in the numismatic world for its rarity and value. Stick with us as we explore what makes this coin so unique, how to spot a valuable 1984 quarter, and just how much it could be worth if you happen to stumble upon one of these hidden treasures. The 1984 quarter may seem like a typical coin from the era, but as you'll soon find out, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Released during Ronald Reagan's presidency, 1984 was a year of economic growth and technological advancement in the United States. The country was moving through the 1980s with a sense of optimism, and the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins to meet the needs of a growing economy. Among the quarters minted that year was the familiar design featuring George Washington on the front, the first president of the United States, and an eagle on the back, symbolizing freedom and strength. Now, let's talk about why the 1984 quarter stands out. Although the 1984 quarter was part of regular circulation, certain issues and errors have made it a sought-after coin by collectors. One of the primary reasons these coins have become valuable is because of a minting error that occurred during the production process. These errors are rare, and finding a coin with one of these flaws is like striking gold in the world of coin collecting. But what's the error, exactly? The mistake that makes the 1984 quarter so special involves a misalignment in the striking process. During the minting, some 1984 quarters were struck off-center, which means the design didn't line up perfectly on the coin. As a result, The Washington portrait or the eagle on the reverse might appear slightly misaligned, giving the coin an irregular but fascinating look. Misaligned strikes like these are rare, and they're highly prized by collectors who specialize in error coins. They're not only visually interesting but also extremely rare, making them stand out among the hundreds of millions of standard 1984 quarters that were minted. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do I know if I've got one of these rare misaligned 1984 quarters? The answer lies in closely examining the coin. When you look at the coin, check to see if the designs on either side, Washington's portrait or the eagle, appear shifted or off-center. If the images are not in the right place or are misaligned, then you may very well have one of these rare error coins in your hands. The more pronounced the misalignment, the more valuable the coin is likely to be. Of course, coin collectors aren't just looking for any misaligned quarters. They're looking for coins in good condition, free from scratches, wear, or significant damage. So, if you happen to find a 1984 misaligned quarter in excellent shape, you could be looking at a valuable piece of numismatic history. In addition to misaligned strikes, another factor that can increase the value of these quarters is their scarcity. Despite the large number of 1,984 quarters that were minted and circulated, only a very small percentage of them contain the rare minting errors that collectors crave. These errors are not something that can be replicated, making each one a one-of-a-kind item that stands out in any coin collection. But here's the exciting part. Just how much could your 1984 quarter be worth if you find one with the right error? Well, brace yourself. Depending on the condition of the coin and the severity of the misalignment, a rare 1984 misaligned quarter can be worth as much as $55,000. That's right, $55,000 for a single quarter. You can imagine the excitement for a coin collector who stumbles upon one of these valuable treasures. A single find could drastically increase the value of your collection. Of course, as with all rare coins, the value is dependent on a few important factors. The condition of the coin is crucial. Coins that are in excellent condition, with minimal signs of wear and tear, tend to fetch higher prices. Additionally, the extent of the misalignment or error is another important consideration. The more dramatic the flaw, the more valuable the coin becomes. And last, but certainly not least, it's always a good idea to have your coin authenticated and graded by a professional service. A certified coin, with a grade that reflects its quality, will have a much higher resale value than one that hasn't been professionally evaluated. Now, if you're wondering where to find one of these rare coins, your best bet is to go through old coin collections. Check your loose change, or visit coin dealers and collectors who specialize in error coins. While it's certainly rare to find one of these valuable misaligned 1984 quarters, it's not impossible. Coins like these do pop up from time to time, so you'll want to keep your eyes peeled. To recap, the 1984 United States quarter dollar may seem like just another coin from the 80s, but thanks to a rare minting error, certain quarters from this year have become highly collectible and extremely valuable. If you're lucky enough to find a misaligned 1984 quarter in excellent condition, you could be holding on to a coin worth as much as $55,000. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on future discoveries. There's a whole world of treasures waiting to be uncovered, and you never know what you'll find next. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.